Susan.Davis, Prairie Girl Lifestyle. Thanks for coming and checking out my video.
So this video is kind of part two of my books, what I've been reading this winter, of the American Native culture. So I have a question to ask you. Have you ever wondered why you're attracted to the things that you love to do in your life and where those ideas have ever come from? I don't think we really take the time to think about that. You know, we just know that we like, for instance, me, I love horses, I love nature, I like hiking, I'm attracted to the mountains. I'd rather go to the mountains than the sea, you know, that kind of stuff. Well, I got a story to tell you. My sister and I, this goes way back to 2012, when our mother passed away. And my sister and I were going through her desk, cleaning it all out, you know. And we found this scrap of paper in there, handwritten note, and it was the name of a book. And we were like, why did Mother keep this? I mean, it obviously was important to her. She would have thrown it away. And so we decided to look into it. And we found out that there was a book written, and this was the book. It was called West of the Mountains, and it was about our distant relative, James Sinclair. Now, James Sinclair was a mountain man, and he lived up in Canada. And he was pretty famous, evidently, because they wrote a book about him. And he was one of the mountain men that took the settlers across the Canadian Rockies over to Washington for the first time. You know, they blazed the trail through all the wilderness and over the mountains, and just like they did here in the United States. And those scouts, you know, they used scouts because the scouts were with the Indians and they knew the trails and they knew how to get through the mountains. Well, that was our ancestor, James Sinclair, and he was half Indian. So, of course, we were extremely excited to read this book. And Mother had written that down. And here's the other thing. Mother always told us that she had Indian in her, Cree Indian. And even on her gravestone, she wanted Grandma Cree written on her stone, which it is. So she really had this connection that we really hadn't thought about or looked into or anything until after she'd passed away. And so finding this book on James Sinclair, we were like, oh man, this is cool. And we've, you know, read about all the history of where our ancestors came down through the Hudson Bay, and they worked for the Hudson Bay Company, the fur company, and all this history. It was just fantastic. So that led us to researching more about this Cree Indian that was in our past. We wanted to find out more about her. And so we did some searching on the internet, and lo and behold, we found out there was a book written about her. And we were just ecstatic to find it. And it was written by one of our distant cousins that lives in Canada. And get this, this grandmother came to our cousin in her dreams and told her she needed to write the story of her life. And so our cousin did. And the grandmother came to her in her dreams several times and helped her find the path to all this information. Amazing story. And we were so thrilled to find this out. So of course we ordered the book and we read it. And after reading it, we got a hold of our cousin up in Canada and told her how thrilled we were to find her and that we are related and we want to come meet you. And so that's what we decided to do. We thought, let's go to Canada, retrace those steps, and meet our cousin and see where our grandmother is buried. Well, unfortunately, the trip is this year. We're going in August, but unfortunately, our cousin passed away last summer. It's very sad. We won't be able to meet her. But she did give us enough information in her emails back and forth to us that we know where the grandmother is. We know where they lived. You know, we have all this information from her book. So we'll be able to go and find the grave and all the historical places where evidently all the artifacts and everything are still up there. Some of the posts that they built are still there. We're very excited to go up there and see all this. I mean, it's just amazing. And then we're going to follow the, this is Winnipeg, by the way, Winnipeg, Canada. So we're going to go up there and see what we can of our ancestors. And then we're going to follow the path that James Sinclair took through the Canada and over the Rockies, because they named a pass for James Sinclair in the Canadian Rockies. And a couple other things up there too, maybe a lake and something else I can't remember right now. But oh my gosh, we're so excited to go up there and follow that and see where our ancestors were. So back to the question I asked in the beginning of this video, where do you get these loves, these habits that you have? Well, now reading these books and seeing all this information on our ancestors, I can see where I have the love of nature. I can see where I have the love of American Indian culture. I see the love of horses and hiking. It's no accident that these traits have come down through my family and has hit me in this way. But do we think about that? No. And I bred horses for 35 years. And I can tell you that when we breed these animals, we're so focused on, we want this trait to show up or this color of horse to show up. And so we breed for that. And this is generations of breeding to get a horse that will do a specific event really well, or maybe a color pattern that we want. But do we think of that with, people? I don't. But I think it's important to know your ancestors, your family tree, and where did all this come from, and what kind of people were they? And so, okay, maybe that's why I like whatever it is I like. It's no accident. So I encourage you, if you haven't done it, to look up your ancestors, see what you can find out about them. And I think it's going to answer a lot of questions for you. This has for me. I'm just blown away. I'm super excited to know that my attraction to American Indian culture is no accident. My love of horses and hiking and being out in nature is no accident. My sister and I both have the genes. We love to hike and we love to explore new areas. We're not afraid to get out and travel. We love to travel. We absolutely love to travel and see all these old history museums and forts and, all that kind of stuff. Well, it's no wonder that we like all that. Now it's kind of coming clear to us. We're really enjoying what we're finding out. And now we got this great trip. We're going to go to Canada. And, that's going to take, we'll be gone for quite a while. So I'm really happy to share that story with you, ladies. It's very exciting for me to find out about my ancestors. And oh my gosh, that one is famous. Kinda. I mean, kind of famous. Not really, but they wrote a book about him. Yeah. And he was half Indian and went clear across the country and ended up over in Washington, taking the settlers over there. And unfortunately, he got shot by an Indian. Yeah, killed him. But anyway, that's my story. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Let me know, let me know in the comments below what you think about all this. Have you looked up your ancestors? Do you have some traits in you that you think came from, down through the line? I'm sure. Yeah, makes sense. Okay, ladies, go out and make it a great day. And I'll see you in the next video.